Okay, pilots. Now, I've got my LEDs installed. I checked them out before I installed them. So they was working before I installed them. I don't know. Yeah. This wing here gave me a little trouble. I made a mistake and cut after I didn't put my landing light over on that side, I'd cut my spot in the wrong. I was using the black lines up underneath to line up. And dadgummit, if I didn't cut the thing out wrong, I'd cut this one out and glue this piece back in over there. And then my corner didn't want to fit right. It just didn't want to form right. So this side over here just gave me a little bit of trouble. But that's usual. Can't do nothing on Sunday. Okay. Now I've got the wings together. Got my spars in it. Got it all hooked up in there. Got it labeled right. When I was running my LEDs, I was able to determine which lead is for the ailerons, which lead was for the flaps. Got them all labeled. Got it all hooked up. You know, it's self-explanatory. But I took my LED lead that was going to be plugged into the receiver, and I run it down to where the bind plug is down in the bottom, so that after I bind it, I can just plug my LEDs into the bind plug. So this little plastic thing here goes on top of the wing, kind of like a brace that you slide down and onto the wing. And you got, they give you 5, I guess they give you a spare. But those are machine screws, about 1 inch long. Phillips says, but machine screwed, real fine threaded screws. Because remember, if I showed you in unboxing how it had the brass inserts into the bottom. So I'm gonna take this out, and I'm gonna see, and I've got another. This was a what was this thing? What was this thing? I cannot remember. It was either a tail wheel or I can't remember what it was. But it's thinner than an owl. Okay, that was. So I'm gonna drop that down in that hole. Uh-oh. Might not be able to use that screwdriver. Let's see if I get a bite. Oh yeah, there it is. Feel it tight. Don't tighten it up though. Let's just see if that is lined up. Feels like it's lined up. So I'm gonna drop that screw down in there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Now let's see if we can do the same process in the back here. I see the brass inserts right there, but I'm gonna go with this. That looks like it's a little off right there. Let's do this. Let's put this one on. Uh-oh. 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 Goodness gracious. Uh-oh. I didn't want to do that. My tail might stay on. Uh-oh. Tail ain't gonna stay on. Get that back off. Can you believe I dropped that pink lineup pen? Let me see it right there through the exit there. You can't do nothing on Sunday. Just can't do it until you just can't do it. Okay, let me try this. Let me just put a screw in. Make sure the wing's good and flush. Just a little bit of tightening on that side. A little tightening on that side. A little tightening on that side. Now pilots, you ain't got to wrench this down, just kind of get her real good snug there. Check the underside here and see if you got a nice line there. Yep, that's nice and flush. That one looks nice and flush. Okay. Now then, that tail feather we gotta put on here. We got more red strobing light in it there. That line up, well, they're not line up, they screw mounts, but you know, just you use them to line your elevator up. Get this up into the little opening there where it'll be free moving, won't hit the rudder as it's going up and down, rudder won't hit it as it's going side to side. We're going to put the front tongue and groove in first. Give just a little bit of a bend pressure to it there, just a little bit, and that'll slide that in. Now, we've got some, looks like maybe one and maybe a little over an inch long coarse Phillips head screws there. Two of them, actually I seen three, but you know, spare. We're gonna try to get them in here. We'll take that lineup pin again. Just kind of give it a little wiggle there. I'm feeling a bite there, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Bottom to support it. Didn't have to put a spar in this one. It already had a spar in the horizontal. screwdriver would stay in the thing. Well, that short hill's gonna go a long way to tighten up her for some reason. I don't understand that at all. I ain't even getting close. I've been sitting here screwing for 30 minutes. It's kind of hard to hold that in there. Okay. All right. Little tough love. A little bit more. A little bit more tough love. Come on, baby. A little tough love. Alright. Looking good there now. Why don't you look at this? Just all over the place. Weak tail, weak tail. Okay. Yep. Now I hadn't set up, I've not plugged in anything into the receiver, so I'm not going to be putting any horns in. Now they've given me 5 of these little small screws. I'm sure 4 of them go into the, not the landing gear, but maybe the float set. Because the landing gear is these big, huge coarse screws here with the big head on it there. Oh yeah. So we're gonna open this bag up and get one of these little small ones out, put in our rudder pin. They all look the same size to me. Put it right here, but you don't really want to tighten this down. This is just kind of like a little hinge pin. pretty much got it built. So for landing gear. Our landing gear is going to go here. Alright. There's my LED lead right there. There's my bind plug right there. So once I get it bound, I just plug my LED lead into that. Okay. Got the ESC right there. But we've got to move that because the landing gear's got to go right there. Got a piece of tape holding that bind plug lead there. So we're going to put that. Now, I took my wheels right here. Simply took the pan off of it. You know, you got your wheel down inside of it like so. You take your screw out of it. You pull the screw all the way out. The wheel comes off. Then you take 2 screws out of the pan on the inside there, and it takes it off the actual gear strut. Till you look, you got this. Okay. Now, you got a long screw with just thread on the last 3 millimeters of it. Okay. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to use that or not. Okay. Because it's going to go into the strut like so. Okay. But usually when you do something like that, what I might have to do if the wheel is not so thick that it won't have enough of the thread on the end here sticking out to put a nut on it. Okay. I'll have to put a collar on it. If this will fit. I don't know. I don't know if this will fit or not. That one won't fit. But I got some big ones. I got some more. But anyway, you know, you got these little collars here that'll have an Allen head in it to lock it. And you just put that down there. But like I said, you got to make sure that your rim on your wheel is not going to be too thick to do something like that. And if it is, then you've got to get a screw that's this long and put a nut all the way down here to the bottom and lock it into the strut. Okay? And then put your wheel on it, push your nut on it. Okay? So that's what I want to do. You know, you just got to figure that out when it gets here, what you got to do. Okay. But I can go ahead and put this on here. Okay, they got a cutout there for that lead to come through, so we're going to let that sit right there. But I'm going to make sure first. Where they're supposed to be. It looks like it sits in a forwarding angle. So I want to make sure that's the way it's supposed to sit. Yep. Okay. We got this round cutout on the front of it right here. And it's flat back there at the back. Round cutout goes in the front. Because you got your bind plug coming up through there, and I've got my LED lead coming out here, and that little cutout in front there allows it room for that lead to go through. And like I said, we've got some pretty good size, big head with coarse thread, 1 inch long. I gave you 5 of them. Extra for spare. On real coarse threads, pilots, you know, when it's got a point on it, it'll pretty much tap itself in, but when it's just a flat cut off like this one is, you kind of sometimes you gotta force that screw to go in straight down. Sometimes it'll want to go in an angle on you. So you got to make sure you got that screw going in straight down. up underneath the landing gear struts here where you mount it in is a slot where you slide your floats strut in, and then you got your other float strut will mount here. Pilots have had trouble with these cowls coming unglued, pilots, but I've pulled on it, I've kind of yanked on it there a little bit, and I've maneuvered on it. And it seems to be pretty good to me, so I'm going to leave it alone. You don't fix it unless it broke. That's what my motto is. Alright, there we go. That's about all we can do right now, pilots. I don't want to plug it up right now because I've got to read up and get my radio set up. Instructions has a page here where you have instructions on how to set your controller up, your radio up to have different options as far as switching your gyro on and off to stability to full auto recovery, and then your flap set up and your expo and dual rates. It's all right there in front of you. So I've got to do that, and it'll tell you what hole to put the push rod in. Let's see if I can see something here. See if I can see that. Yep, here we go, right here, right there. That tells you where to put the holes at. Put the push rod into the horn at. And then of course, let's see. Usually center of gravity's on that page. Let's see what we got here. Oh, here it is. Goodness gracious. Way up there in the corner, I can barely see it. Alright, there's your center of gravity. Alright, now I've got to also read up on this receiver, because it could be a different way of binding this receiver up than it is the old 36. This is a 31, I believe. It's 71, 31 something. So I got to read up on binding. So there you go, pilots. That's what we can do. That's all we can do tonight. My Bush Valiant. Let's stay tuned. Got other things to do to it. Set up. Taxi test. I'm out.